Okay, epics. Actually, two epics to talk about. One is about government, the other is about God. Two epics. They say if you want to work in church and mosque, you cannot be policeman, or you cannot be a nurse, you cannot be a doctor, you cannot be a teacher. The three things. And they say if you want to work in government, you cannot be imam or pastor. But priest, remember this, priest can work in both ways. Because priest never, if you understand priest never talk about how much about God or Satan. He always read the Bible, maybe one chapter, and do singing all most of the time. But pastor will criticize the system because he knows that about the system works with the devil. That's remember that two things. That's factor. If you go to normal church, they never talk about Satan. If you go to a pastor church or imam church, they talk almost of the time about Allah, God, and they talk about Shaitan, Satan. So people can get knowledge about how the Satan, Shaitan works, and about love God shows to the people that He loves. But if you remember, government never in the school, government never loved to teach about God or Satan. Mostly about no Satan. You can maybe hear about God sometimes, but it's very few times. And if you understand why is that, but if you go to work in a hospital, you can never talk about God or Satan. Because if you go to talk about that, like patient or like inmate, they start to criticize you. They say you cannot talk about this. You have to think about others people around you. You have to think about things that things don't really have don't have don't have meanings. Understand? And it's because they work against Allah, God, the government, but they work not against Satan. Remember that. They say the most closely thing to control people is to give them medication, something to do, something to achieve, and some goals. And what is goals? School, education, jobs. That's the two type thing they can control you. Your mindset, your mind, your whole body, how you think, how you react, how you behave, everything. Your mentality, and your health, and your heart, and your stress, and your mind, and your head, and your face, and your all, everything. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I'm being there too. So sometimes when you're trying to talk to people that nurse, like talking to them like about Satan, about God, they start to think this man is psychotic. If you talk to a priest will like, priests don't have all the answer because they say you have to have education to be a priest, but they never told you that a priest will never told you that You have to understand the Bible correctly, or the Quran correctly. You understand so much you want to understand, but not so much that people need to understand, and people need to hear about how the Bible or the Quran works. The same is for Imam. So, when the pastor too, in hospitality in prison, understand, and the government. So you have to understand these topics, epics, is like to talk about them. It's not easy. So give me some advice. What to do next? Like people like me don't trust the government, but trust God. How can I work against the government in a good way? But the same way, I keep the rules in directly good part. Trust me that they will never tell you about how the government work. The government don't like to tell people who they believe into. Thanks for me. Thanks.